Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and this is probably a game you're familiar with, and if not, this is Massacre, and I'm Zomb Slays. You might have seen me stream this game on my main channel from time to time, but I have top times in pretty much every category. I've played this game for way longer than I ever should have, but today we'll be playing Massacre any percent glitchless. So, it's gonna be a little bit of a longer run than you're used to for Massacre, because Massacre runs are about under a minute now. But, let's hope for a better run than MCM, shall we? I have Mild on the couch with me for some support. Mild's gonna be asking me some questions, explaining a few things here or there. Welcome, Mild.
Hello, hello.
So, we're gonna skip ahead here because the prologue is long and unnecessary, and you guys don't want to see that. So, we'll load in here, and much like Pleasantly did in his run, we're going to turn the CRT off and switch to the PSX filter. Mostly because it's way easier to see, especially in a game like None, where it's very dark. But time starts on first movement, so we'll just count down on 3, 2, 1, go. So, the first thing you're going to see me do here is jump over some barbed wire, which a lot of people have trouble with and always ask me about. They say, Zomb, how do you do that? I can never jump through the barbed wire there. It just takes practice. That's a very interesting trick, for sure. So, in Nun Massacre, you play as Miss McDonald, and Miss McDonald gets a letter in the mail that her daughter is sick at her boarding school. We arrive at her boarding school and end up trapped by a killer nun and have to escape. And much like MCM, we'll be solving several puzzles, and I'll be explaining some things along the way. So, the first of our puzzles here is you just see me in vents traveling very slowly, but we'll be picking up 5 mannequin parts. Now, we have 2 here, and we'll be moving around the map to collect other mannequin parts, other tools to get other parts, things like that. So, let me continue here. Now, that's a very interesting jump. I was actually practicing earlier, and I would miss that like every single time. So, that's an interesting one for sure. You don't want to go too far into this room because that door can lock, and you'll just be locked in there for like a standard like 10 seconds or so, something like that. So basically, what you just saw me do there was cut the power to the fan, and we're going to move through the fan and head into the kitchen, where pretty much the rest of the mannequin parts are, besides one. Now, fair warning, headphone users, be aware. Definitely be aware. Now,
None is one of the loudest puppet combo games.
It's right on par with Babysitter Bloodbath for sure.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention that, so definitely be aware. Now, we're going to be putting all those parts on the scale, and we're going to be retrieving a cog to fix the clock. And I'll explain later why we need to fix the clock, but for now, we're just collecting a few more items here. So you just saw me pick up a screwdriver and a VHS tape. And the nun is right there. So let's not deal with that. We don't want any of her doings. None of that. Farewell. Okay, as I was saying, we're going to be picking up a VHS tape and a hammer and a paperclip. So our inventory is pretty full right now. And we're on the 2nd floor. And we're going to be using this hammer. And this is the only time you'll be using the hammer to take apart this door here. Now, this is a very common puzzle in all types of PC games. You'll probably see this puzzle very often. And what's behind that door is a drain cleaner. We'll be using that drain cleaner to clean a drain, of course. But I'll explain more once we get there. Now, here, you're gonna see me unscrew this vent. And this is the vent we'll be escaping from. But we don't want to leave yet, so we'll just leave this for later. And obviously, we can't carry around the screwdriver like the whole time because you only have 3 inventory slots. So we do that now so we can just ditch the screwdriver. And the nun is actually very close. She's either below me or above me. I'm not sure. There she is. I might die here. Please don't die here. Please don't die here.
Yeah, that's what you're seeing on the screen. Every time the static appears everywhere, that's the nun. She can either be like close to you where she could actually get to you, or she could be above or below you. It'll still give you the static, but it's just to notify you that she's within a certain distance of you, you know.
Correct. Well said. Well said. So,
And that's one thing you got to worry about throughout the entire run. Like, she's roaming throughout the halls, you know, so you have to watch out for her, and she could just, like, he was at the vent there, you know, can't really get away from her, so.
yes, lots of awkward parts that she'll just be at. And it's just not good at all. So, we're pretty much nearing completion. We have the cog, we've gotten all the mannequin parts, we're finally about to use the drain cleaner. We've arrived at the drain. What's in there? Who knows? Let's find out. What's in the drain is a hex key. And we're going to use the hex key to unlock a door and fix the clock. Now, we're going to go to the floor below the drain cleaner, pick up the hex key, head back upstairs to that very same floor, and use this hex key. Now, that trick's kind of funny, because for a while it wasn't known like how to pick locks in this version of Known Massacre, and it's kind of funny the solution that we came up with, but the solution is just to spam, and it'll pretty much work every time. But we fixed the clock. We're gonna head back downstairs. And you're going to be able to turn that clock 2 ways, left or right. And you want to turn it to the right because it opens the door to the school, which is upstairs. So you want to head down to the kitchen, go up into the school, and it'll be on the 4th floor. So all these other doors are locked, as you see. And you'll be on the 5th floor. The school is kind of an interesting layout. It's not the greatest layout to learn, but once you do, it's not bad. So in here, we're going to pick up another VHS tape. And the point of all these VHS tapes are to basically use them to watch a bunch of scary movies and be scared. But what it really does is you'll be able to pick up a cross to pretty much levitate and escape this horrible boarding school. So now we're pretty much leaving. The nun's right there. Hurry up, put that tape in. Please don't follow me. So we're pretty much on the home stretch here. Now, this is a pretty good talking point. We'll be able to discuss a few things because we have a pretty far vent travel here. Now, sometimes these vents can get confusing, but once you play around in them for a bit, they're relatively simple to understand. And
For me, like that's the hardest part of this is learning the layout of this whole school and everything.
right.
I mean, it's made not like a maze, but you have to go all over the place and up and down the floors and everything.
It's definitely an
Don't know the
interesting layout for sure. It's definitely an interesting layout.
And it's used in a lot of Puppet Combo games too, like the nun layout, like with the Larry games and stuff like that. So,
Right. And even the previous game, MCM, was exactly like that. The layout is
yeah,
very similar.
That's very true.
So I
Like
guess once you
he
learn it, you'll be
reuses
okay. Yes, exactly. Reuses the layout often, definitely.
and this jump too that you were talking about with the cross, like People love that cross.
They do. They do. So there at the end of the hallway, we picked up our last VHS tape. There are a total of 4 VHS tapes that you have to pick up and put individually into each VCR. And on the last one, the cross will drop, and you'll be able to use the cross to climb a wall and escape. So it's looking up for me. It's going relatively well. It's going relatively well.
And that gap that you use the cross like to hop over, you can actually just hop on the side or hop on the wall that's there, right? And
Right.
you can just hop straight over, which obviously isn't allowed in the run, but it is one of those neat little glitches that's there.
Very cool trick. And actually, I was browsing Reddit the other day, and somebody asked if that glitch was fixed in the definitive edition of Nun Massacre, because of course this is not the definitive edition. We're playing on the original version. But yeah, it's actually fixed in the new version of Nun, so you can only do that glitch here on 1.15. So put your last VHR or VHS tape in and wait for the cross. Pick up the cross, and we're pretty much on the home stretch. We're out of here. Let's go, chat. We are gone. We're making our mad dash. So basically, you just want to head back up and take another right turn. I've actually had the nun up here behind me here, and obviously try to knife you and end your run, which is not good. But it looks like we're doing okay here.
Yeah, this is terrifying. I've watched too many Zomb runs where he gets to the end of this and then just dies.
Yep.
Oh, it's terrifying.
She can actually show up in the vents as well too, can't she?
Oh, a lot often. Like, too often. So, you use the cross to climb that wall. I have no idea why, but you climb the wall, and you run up through the attic, which is pretty much like the foundation or top of the building, and the nun's already trapped here, so you pick up your gas can, or the gas can on the evil nun. You're gonna take out your lighter. Use your lighter on the nun. Tap the doll, because that is your daughter's it's your daughter's doll, and his name is Bongo, and time will stop shortly here. Right now. And
Bongo the clown
Bongo the
is
clown.
another. He's another recurring character in the puppet combo games.
Right. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Nun Massacre. I went over some things. I pretty much had a decent run, and we didn't get attacked by the nun there. So I would consider that extremely, extremely successful. I'm Zomb Slays. I had Mild and Dig for some support here. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning into GreenGaming. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the show.
Yeah, I was very worried at the vents, man.